Mr. President, I also want to take some time out this afternoon to speak about a dire situation in Columbus, Montana. At this moment, there are 1,300 employees of the Stillwater Mining Company who are going to work wondering about the future of their company and the future of their jobs. Yesterday, a bankruptcy court in New York nullified a contract between Stillwater Mine, the only palladium and platinum producer in the United States, and General Motors. General Motors petitioned the bankruptcy court to drop its precious metals contract with the Montana Mining Company so it can instead use foreign, cheaper suppliers based outside this country, specifically in Russia and South Africa. I would have a big problem under any circumstances for an American corporate icon to choose foreign suppliers over a viable American option. But when we consider that General Motors only exists today due to the direct assistance of the American taxpayer, this decision is appalling and weakens our American manufacturing base. As a member of the Senate Banking Committee, I attended the marathon hearings late last year, where the domestic automakers pleaded for government assistance. On November 18th of last year, I relayed to the executives from Ford, Chrysler, and yes, GM, the importance of spending taxpayer funds in the United States. I said, I would have to ask is, where's the money going to be spent? Who is it going to be spent on, and what country is it going to be spent in? Because those are all critically important questions. If we're using taxpayer dollars, from my perspective, it ought to be spent here in the U.S. In response, I was assured that taxpayer funds would be spent domestically to rebuild the auto manufacturers. By negating Stillwater's contract, General Motors is not investing domestically. They are not investing in American jobs. They are not investing in this country. And it goes against the grain when we see a viable company that has recently got in trouble, like GM, go against what they told me in committee. When General Motors came pleading to the U.S. Senate late last year, they spoke of the fate of their employees. But they also spoke of the fate of small parts manufacturers, miners, dealerships, and other interconnected businesses that are dependent on General Motors. I voted against giving taxpayer dollars to the auto manufacturers, just as I voted against the Wall Street bailout. The auto manufacturers didn't convince me that they would spend the money wisely and that they would spend it in the United States. I wish I was wrong. But they're not spending the taxpayer dollars wisely, in my opinion, and they're not spending the taxpayer dollars in the United States. And it is the folks at Stillwater, just like many auto dealerships in Montana and across rural America, who are hurting. With its $50 billion in taxpayer funds, General Motors recently emerged out of bankruptcy, and with it, its first repayment on the $50 billion owed to the American taxpayer. The new GM has decided to dump its only domestic supplier of palladium, and they have failed to present a significant need to do business with foreign suppliers, where they can contract with a company right here in America that employs more than 1,300 hardworking Americans. For the last decade, Stillwater has supplied GM with palladium and rhodium, which are used to make catalytic converters that filter pollutants from vehicle exhaust. The palladium sales to the auto companies accounted for 42.8% of Stillwater's revenue last year. General Motors' rejection of his contract with Stillwater will result in company losses of about $500,000 per month, and almost certainly means losing countless good-paying American jobs, and those American jobs in this case happen to be in Montana. Stillwater is one of Montana's largest employers. The economic well-being of 1,300 Montanans at Stillwater who work at the mines in Nye and Big Timber is no doubt in serious trouble. GM's actions threaten the well-being of families, numerous small communities, dozens of interconnected Montana's businesses. Immediately after the court ruled against Stillwater and its employees, I joined with the senior senator from Montana, Max Baucus, in urging General Motors to reconsider their decision to choose foreign suppliers over a proven domestic partner. I still hope that they make the right decision and realize that the new GM only exists today because of the American taxpayer, taxpayers like the Montanans who work at the Stillwater mine. Maybe they don't care about placing American jobs at risk, but the fact is I do, and we do, and they should. Mr. President, I cannot express adequately today the disappointment that I've had and that I have with GM's decision to negate the contract with Stillwater Mining. It is part of that manufacturing base that I think is so critically important to this country, and they're turning their back on it.